U.S. President Donald Trump said the fragile ceasefire with Iran was on its last legs after rejecting its counteroffer to a U.S. proposal to end the war. He struck down Iran's demands, which asked for recognition of its sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz, war reparations, the lifting of international sanctions, the unfreezing of Iranian assets held abroad, and an end to the war between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon.
Are they stupid people? They didn't want to believe it. They think that, well, I'll get tired of this, or I'll get bored, or I'll have some pressure. But there's no pressure. There's no pressure at all. We're going to have a complete victory. After reading that piece of garbage they sent us, I didn't even finish reading it. They said, I'm not going to waste my time reading it. I would say it's one of the weakest right now. I would say the ceasefire is on massive life support, where the doctor walks in and says, sir, your loved one has approximately a 1% chance of living.
Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson denied his country was asking for concessions, adding that the demands were only Iran's legitimate rights. The volatility could tip the Middle East back into open warfare and prolong the worldwide energy crisis sparked by the conflict, with Iran's chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz and America's blockade of Iranian ports still in place.
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said on Tuesday the EU could propose a bloc-wide social media ban for children as early as this summer, amid mounting pressure from member states to strengthen online protections for minors. Support for stricter controls has grown in recent months, with France, Spain, Greece and Denmark leading calls for measures to shield children from what governments describe as addictive online platforms.
We're witnessing the lightning speed at which technology is advancing and how it penetrates every corner of childhood and adolescence. And the discussions about a minimum age for social media can no longer be ignored, as you all know here in this room. Almost all EU member states call for an assessment on the need for it.
Several EU countries are already pursuing national legislation, although the Commission has faced pressure to maintain a harmonized approach across the bloc's single market. One of the main challenges for the EU has been finding a common technical solution for age verification. Von der Leyen referred to an app modelled on the bloc's EU digital COVID certificate system. While the Commission has formally recommended the app to member states, several governments have reacted cautiously. Cybersecurity experts have also raised concerns over potential technical vulnerabilities.
Last week, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's Labour Party suffered devastating losses in Britain's local elections, while the ultra-conservative Reform UK, headed by Nigel Farage, made massive gains. Speaking on Euronews morning show Europe Today, UK Minister for Europe Stephen Dowdy blamed Farage for promoting what he described as unrealistic claims about Brexit.
A lot of the things that were told us about Brexit by Nigel Farage and Reform were simply not true. He said it would make us richer. It hasn't. He said it would bring down migration. In fact, migration had gone up, although we're taking significant steps to reduce irregular migration. And of course, he made a load of other false promises about the so-called sunny uplands that would come, and that hasn't been the case. So the Prime Minister has set out very clearly we need to be working closely with our European partners on the economy, on security, on defence, and internationally in what is a very turbulent world.
We're talking a lot about what the British taxpayer perhaps can get from this renewed relation. What about Europeans?
Well, Europe, of course, geographically includes the United Kingdom and includes other partners not in the EU, and I think in the types of circumstances that we face in the world at the moment, economically, in terms of climate change, and of course in terms of conflict and indeed war in Europe, it's more important than ever that the UK and the EU are working closely together, and indeed other partners too.
While Starmer has ruled out rejoining the EU, the customs union or the single market, the UK has increasingly aligned itself with Brussels on foreign and security policy. Last week, the UK and EU confirmed discussions over possible British support for the bloc's €90 billion loan package for Ukraine.
The drought situation in Hungary is becoming increasingly severe. In some places, the soil is lacking 120 milliliters of moisture. The water shortage is most alarming in the Great Plain. To alleviate the situation and develop an immediate water management plan, Peter Magyar has asked Laszlo Gajdos, future Minister of Environment in the Tisza government, to take action. Due to the April drought, Gajdos has urged everyone who can to refrain from mowing their lawns, at least through May, explaining that frequent mowing requires much more water. The deputy spokesperson for the National Water Authority says that based on rainfall over the past 5 years, they are effectively missing a full year's worth of precipitation. According to Attila Szegi, to better distribute existing water resources, infrastructure must be made more flexible and public engagement is also crucial.
Éppen a tegnapi napon jártunk a sáréti vízőrzőkkel közösen egy területbejáráson a román határ mentén, a Kissáréten, ahol több mint egy éve már a vízügy együtt dolgozik ezekkel a civilekkel, azon, hogy ott a térségben vizet tudjunk megtartani. Itt a Sebeskörös és a Berettyó vízkészletére alapozva állami művekkel juttatjuk ki a vizet, a civilek pedig jelentős segítséget nyújtanak például a csatornákon betétpallózásokban, vízkormányzásban, illetve nyilván kollégáinkkal egyeztetve, ahol lehet ki is vezetik a vizet a tájba.
The levels of Hungary's rivers, lakes and even groundwater are critically low. The mayor of a town on the shore of Lake Valence says water scarcity has long been a topic discussion among local leaders. If water is diverted from the Danube, it's only a temporary solution. In the long term, only a new pipeline system would resolve the lake situation.
Mivel hogy a város 50-60 éve turizmusra épül, szükség van a Velencei tóra és a Velencei tóban lévő vízre, amit most jól látható módon egyre kevesebb. Az idei évet, az idei szezont a legmagasabb, azt hiszem 81 cm-rel kezdtük, most pedig sajnálatos módon már csak 66 cm a Velencei tó vízállása. A legkisebb vízállás az 53 cm volt, ezt valószínűleg június végére el is fogjuk érni.
The current water level is about 60-70 centimeters lower than optimal.
The Urban Art Biennale 2026 is really an international show. We have 50 artists from 17 countries, from 3 continents, and it's really showing street art, graffiti, urban art at its best. We have the car-like installations like this behind me, which are sort of monumental fossil mobility, which is covered from a Pompeii-like dust cover, or we have the huge roof of Amparito, the writing on the roof of the Möllerhalle, which is really the biggest work in the show.
I think that it's so dusty and it's so old, but it's beautiful. You know, there's beauty in decay, and I think what I've done makes you kind of just perceive it in a bit of a different way.
It's like a nice place, people walking around, there are bees, there are beautiful flowers, but yeah, we still remember the history, and that's super important.
Uzbekistan has added 5,600 megawatts of solar and wind capacity to its national grid in recent years, as the country accelerates investment in renewable energy projects. President Shavkat Mirziyoyev says renewable sources now account for around 30% of the country's electricity mix, with international developers involved major solar and wind projects across several regions.
Generatsiyada yashil energiya ulushini 30% ga yetkazdik. 2030 yilga borib bu ko'rsatkichni 54% ga olib chiqishni reja qilganmiz.
Officials say the expansion is aimed at strengthening energy security, reducing dependence on natural gas, and meeting rising electricity demand from industry and households.
Last year we have a large project approved. When it's finished, this solar plant in Samarkand will produce have capacity of 1 gigawatt generation of renewable energy. This means it is going to be the largest in Central Asia.
International financial institutions and private companies are supporting projects in solar, wind and grid development. Authorities are also investing in digital infrastructure linked to the energy transition.
We are bringing now the AI. The green data center is under construction in the IT park in Tashkent. End of December, beginning of January, we will be able to complete this project.
Investor confidence has also been supported by economic reforms.
Saudi Business Council is really bringing all of these quality investment and all these investors, the serious investors and the committed investor, they will succeed. And all our investment here, over $26 billion today.
With electricity demand expected to continue rising over the coming years, renewable energy is becoming a central pillar of Uzbekistan's long-term development strategy.